The 8 of them quietly left and made their way toward the beast arena. Chen Shu. Su Xiaoyu had already been waiting at the beast arena. Chen Shu and Zhang Dali had once saved her life, so she held them in high regard. That wanted criminal had been ruthless. Even the 666 pharmaceutical company hadn't tracked down the mastermind. Xiaoyu, Chen Shu greeted her with a smile. The top student, Su Xiaoyu? Zhang Nan and the others were startled. Her reputation as an academic prodigy preceded her. The familiarity between the two made them hesitate. Whether it was her strength or her background, Su Xiaoyu was someone to be feared. Nanji, maybe we should drop this? Wang Yu whispered. Everyone knew Zhang Nan wanted to cripple Chen Shu's contracted beast. But with Su Xiaoyu present, a real fight would be tough. Her A-rank flame bird wasn't easy to counter. Zhang Nan remained silent, but his eyes were still full of hatred, and he shook his head firmly. Su Xiaoyu's family was powerful, but so was the Zhang family. Chen Shu was just an ordinary person, he couldn't possibly have any significant connections. Let's get started, Zhang Nan said, summoning his contracted beast. Suddenly, a half-meter-long green-feathered eagle appeared, screeching fiercely. A green-feather eagle? Su Xiaoyu frowned. She hadn't expected Chen Shu's opponent to be a level 6 beast tamer with a flying beast. Chen Shu hadn't expected Zhang Yi's beast to be a skeleton while Zhang Nan's was a green-feather eagle. Were they really brothers? Let's see what you've got. Zhang Nan was full of confidence. Flying beasts had a natural advantage against lower-level opponents. Chen Shu wasn't backing down either and summoned his contracted beast. A massive blob of goo suddenly dropped from the sky, targeting the green-feather eagle. A sneak attack? Zhang Nan was startled and commanded the green-feather eagle to evade. With its speed, the green-feather eagle flapped its wings and dodged the goo. The golden slime landed steadily on the ground, but it didn't move. The slime was snoring, it had fallen asleep. Everyone was speechless. This contracted beast was as strange as its owner. The slime eventually woke up, letting out a big yawn. Is this really a combat beast? Someone muttered in doubt. The slime awkwardly hopped around, its poor jumping skills barely moving it, but it still taunted the green-feather eagle, making everyone laugh. Chen Shu sighed. The sneak attack had failed. Zhang Nan commanded the green-feather eagle to attack. Its sharp claws slashed through the slime's defense, causing a clear, colorless liquid to ooze out its blood. Guliolu! Guliolu! The slime cried out in pain, looking utterly aggrieved. This is section 2741. Here's the translated content, maintaining the original paragraph structure, line breaks, and overall layout for American readers. Qingyu Hawk attacked ferociously again. It had no special skills but relied on its physique to crush the slime. High-potential spirit beasts had even greater combat power. Chen Shu frowned deeply. The golden slime was clearly at a disadvantage against a flying spirit beast, so he had to take a risky gamble. He issued a new command. The slime moved sluggishly, while the Qingyu Hawk's speed was overwhelming. Another claw strike came down. The slime bled continuously, its body moving sluggishly and almost unable to function. The injuries were severe. Chen Shu's expression darkened. Clenching his fists, he finally couldn't hold back and shouted. Stop! I concede. Zhang Nan laughed smugly, cursing idiot in his mind, and ordered Qingyu Hawk to deliver a final blow. The Qingyu Hawk, enraged, flapped its wings in dove, its sharp claws gleaming coldly. Chen Shu, recall your spirit beast. Just conceding isn't enough. Su Xiaoyu exclaimed in panic. The battle only ended if the spirit beast was recalled or left the field. Too late. Zhang Nan sneered as the Qingyu Hawk closed in for a full-force attack on the slime. In the next instant, Chen Shu's lips curled into a sly grin. The slime suddenly leaped up, jumping 5 meters high like an agile, chubby figure, overshadowing the Qingyu Hawk. Where was the injured appearance? This performance could win the Slime Academy's Best Actor award. With its weight and jumping capability, it should have been impossible to leap that high. This was the effect of the brutal sit-smash skill. The slime also used its gigantification skill, transforming into a massive, 4-meter-tall yellow sphere that came crashing down. The change was so sudden that no one could react. The Qingyu Hawk's pupils contracted as it tried to fly away, but it was too late. Boom! The ground trembled. You tricked me. Zhang Nan's face turned ugly. The golden slime, now enormously inflated, firmly pinned the Qingyu Hawk underneath. Though the Qingyu Hawk was fast and had the advantage of flight, at this moment, it was entirely immobilized. Crush that beast to death. Chen Shu said with a sinister smile. Squish! The slime, usually kind-hearted, was now furious from earlier beatings, wiggling its rear relentlessly. The Qingyu Hawk screeched in agony, as if its internal organs had been crushed. Being sat on by a slime was a nightmare come true. How is this possible? An F-rank slime has 2 active skills? Zhang Nan clenched his fists, his eyes filled with shock. In just a short time, the Qingyu hawk had suffered severe injuries, its blood staining the ground. The tide of the battle shifted so quickly that everyone else was left dumbfounded. This slime is downright sinister, Wang Yu whispered. Everyone had thought the slime was weak and battered, but now it was brimming with energy. Even as an F-rank contracted spirit beast, the slime's vitality was incredible. Because the Qingyu hawk was so powerful, everyone had overlooked its resilience. It's true, what kind of master has what kind of spirit beast? I lost. Zhang Nan looked disheveled and spoke weakly. Just as he prepared to recall the Qingyu hawk, the golden slime suddenly jumped off, relinquishing its hold. Ha! A strange look flashed in Zhang Nan's eyes. He hadn't expected the opponent to give up its advantage willingly. Now on guard, the Qingyu hawk wouldn't be so easily caught again. The Qingyu hawk shook its wings, still dizzy and unstable. Chen Shu, don't let it fly. Su Xiaoyu urged anxiously. But Chen Shu made an unexpected decision. The golden slime's eyes widened as its body trembled, suddenly activating its charge skill. The Qingyu hawk, barely half a meter off the ground, was struck head-on by a blur of yellow light and sent flying. Chen Shu showed no mercy to his contracted spirit beast. It didn't matter if it killed the opponent. The Qingyu hawk crashed into Zhang Nan. Thud! Both master and beast were sent flying several meters, landing heavily on the ground. Zhang Nan coughed uncontrollably, his chest aching. You lost, Chen Shu said calmly, as the Qingyu hawk had already been eliminated from the battle, sealing the defeat. It has 3 skills? That's impossible. Zhang Nan clenched his fists, his pain mingled with utter disbelief. An F-rank slime possessing 3 combat skills? Ridiculous. Even Su Xiaoyu was stunned. Her A-rank flame bird only had 2 skills. Because it's the golden flash of Nanjiang High School. Chen Shu said cryptically. Everyone looked puzzled. He then recalled the slime and left with Su Xiaoyu. Brother, are you okay? Zheng Yi hurried over, his eyes full of concern. Cough, I'm fine. I won't stay at Nanjiang High anymore. I don't want anything to do with Chen Shu. Zhang Nan looked pale but spoke with determination. Chen Shu was both powerful and mysterious, not someone they could easily contend with. In their repeated clashes, they had never gained the upper hand. I understand. Zheng Yi sighed helplessly, giving up on provoking him. Chen Shu, is your contracted spirit beast really F-rank? It's stronger than my flame bird. Su Xiaoyu asked curiously. Of course not, Chen Shu replied mysteriously. Actually, it's an SSS rank universe invincible poop. Su Xiaoyu rolled her eyes. What kind of name is that? Let me see its stats. I want to keep a low profile, Chen Shu said with a straight face. Humph. Su Xiaoyu pouted but suddenly remembered something. You're already a level 5 beastmaster. If you keep working hard, you might make it into the special training class. Depends on luck, Chen Shu nodded. With his strength, he could rank in the top 20 of his grade, but competition in the final week was fierce. Whether he'd make it or not was uncertain. Even if he didn't, his college entrance exam results would still be excellent. You should buy a beast orb for training. Reaching level 6 would guarantee it, Su Xiaoyu suggested. We'll see, Chen Shu deflected. His talent was average, and his training efficiency was low, making it hard to improve quickly. The two parted ways. After the battle, Chen Shu's slime gained a new trait, thick armor. The trait greatly enhanced its defense, tripling the effect when in a resting state. This skill suited the golden slime perfectly. Chen Shu walked to the classroom door and noticed a teacher lecturing about key biology topics. It's almost the end of the semester, and they're still teaching, he muttered, sneaking in to return to his seat. Ha! Who are you? The biology teacher turned around, catching Chen Shu sneaking in. Chen Shu was momentarily speechless. I'm the protagonist, so why do I feel so invisible? Thinking quickly, he replied, Teacher, I'm from this class. I wasn't feeling well earlier and was throwing up in the restroom. The biology teacher was speechless. Sit down. Chen Shu sat idly, waiting for school to end, as he had already mastered all the high school material. Ding ding ding. The dismissal bell rang, and Chen Shu was the first to dash out of the classroom, heading to the ordinary class's door. Zhou Xiaopeng. Boss Pai. Zhou Xiaoming ran over excitedly. I saw Zhang Yi's sorry state. Boss Pai, you work fast. Of course, I'll swing by your house tonight to discuss business, Chen Shu said, rubbing his hands together. He'd mastered the formula for the physique potion, but crafting it required raw materials. The output of this potion was low, and producing it at the potion company was both unprofitable and drew too much attention. For a high schooler to be proficient in crafting 2 types of potions was already quite extraordinary. Tonight? Zhou Xiaoming looked surprised. Isn't it a bit early to meet my parents? Ha! Chen Shu's mouth twitched. Stop looking for trouble. Speak properly. No. Pige, I meant I haven't told my parents yet, and we've got evening study sessions tonight. Chen Shu pulled him toward the school gate. No problem. Tomorrow, just have Zhang Dali tutor you. Zhou Xiaoming hesitated, embarrassed. Don't mess around. I don't want to end up dead last. The two went to Zhou Xiaoming's family shop, and things went smoother than Chen Shu had expected. Though he lacked certification, with enough money on the table, the Zhou family agreed to reserve interdimensional materials for him, albeit at a 10% to 20% markup. The deal was sealed with a handshake. Money could buy raw materials. However, the Zhou family wouldn't sell him potions nor buy any of Chen Shu's concoctions. The next day, Chen Shu skipped school and headed straight to the 666 Potion Company. With his grasp of high school level knowledge, studying felt unnecessary. As a beast tamer student, learning outside of school was perfectly reasonable. He snuck into the potion department without drawing attention. Nobody batted an eye at his presence. The company didn't publicize his activities. After all, he was uncertified, and any exposure might lead to his dismissal. Master Chen, what brings you here today? Assistant Xiao Mao asked, surprised. Just found some time to drop by. Got any dolly flowers left? There are 14 flowers right now. Do you want them all? Bring them all over. The company supplied 3 flowers daily, and since Chen Shu hadn't been around, they couldn't reserve all of them for him without affecting supply. The potions were hot sellers, always in short supply. By the end of the day, Chen Shu had used up all 14 dolly flowers. He crafted 6 of them into lower-grade strength potions, yielding 78 bottles. Under their agreement, each flower earned 5 bottles of potion, so 14 flowers accounted for 70 bottles. The remaining 8 flowers were refined into mid-grade strength potions and stored in his system's inventory. This frenzy of potion crafting didn't faze Assistant Xiao Mao, who was used to it. She simply logged the potions into inventory. By evening, Chen Shu left the company and headed straight to the black market. He needed to sell the potions and then buy raw materials from the Zhou family to craft the physique potion. At the moment, his system inventory held 52 bottles of mid-grade strength potions. He fed 14 bottles to his golden slime, but it had developed resistance and could no longer benefit from mid-grade potions. Chen Shu found an open spot, set up a stall, and began to shout. Fresh mid-grade strength potions. Absolutely genuine. Fake ones come with a tenfold refund. His voice was loud, but there were few passers-by, and the ones who noticed him looked at him with disdain. Me? A model student, being mistaken for a scammer? Kid, your scam is pretty weak. The vendor at the neighboring stall snickered. I'm selling real strength potions, Chen Shu said, forcing a smile. Who's gonna believe that tenfold refund nonsense? What is it? Buy 1, get 10? The man continued, amused. Chen Shu glanced over and recognized him as the guy who sold mud. During his first visit to the black market, Zhang Dali had paid $10 to buy what turned out to be a lump of mud from this guy. Mud? It was the core of a soiled dragon king. The vendor had insisted back then. The man now looked serious. Kid, wanna learn some tricks of the trade? Tricks? Black market stall tactics. I guarantee you'll earn 3,000 a day. He then pulled out an old book with a worn cover that read The Black Market Hustler's Guide, Collector's Edition. For real? Chen Shu thought, his mouth twitching. They even published a book on this? A collector's edition, no less? Cut it out. I'm selling genuine stuff, not like you scammers, Chen Shu retorted. Not bad. Your acting's decent, the vendor said, nodding. Your scamming game's weak, but your performance has potential. Chen Shu was speechless. After a moment, he asked, what's your name, boss? Call me Old Wang. Everyone does. Alright, Wang Baji, I need a favor. Chen Shu smiled. My name's Old Wang, not Old Turtle. Old Wang sighed. Okay, Wang Baji, Chen Shu teased, can you help me round up some people to fake buy from me? Create some buzz? Old Wang shook his head. Will that even work? I can find people, but it'll cost you $100 per person. I'll give you 1,000 after it's done. Chen Shu didn't hesitate. Old Wang looked skeptical. Do you even have that kind of money? Here's 500 as a deposit. You'll get the rest when it's done. Chen Shu handed him 500 yuan. Make sure to bring a good crowd. Old Wang grinned as he pocketed the money. 10 minutes later, Old Wang returned with a group, mostly fellow street vendors. Naturally, they were all peddling counterfeit goods. Though the black market officially only allowed beast tamers of level 5 and above, ordinary folks often found ways to sneak in. Little Chen, these are the black market's elite. Wang Baji announced proudly. Chen Shu scanned the group and nodded. The crowd immediately swarmed his stall. With years of experience, they didn't need any rehearsals, they were naturals. Mid-grade strength potion. I'll take one. Give me one too. I came all the way from downtown for this. "Boss, pack me 5 bottles." Their performances were flawless. These black market veterans were truly pros. There was just one glaring issue: none of them were actually paying. "Guys, this looks way too fake," Chen Shu groaned, massaging his temples. Their pockets were emptier than their wallets. Who had money to play the part of a buyer? Chen Shu leaned in and whispered something to the group. Moments later, they hesitated. "That's not very ethical, is it? It'll hurt our reputation," someone muttered. "I, Wang Tianba, am an upright man. I'd never stoop so low unless you pay me more," another said smugly. Chen Shu rolled his eyes. 200 per person. The moment the words left his mouth, the group perked up, as if injected with adrenaline, and jumped back into character. "I'll take all the potions. If anyone tries to outbid me, they'll regret it. Who dares mess with Wang Badian in the black market?" The group started yelling, escalating the scene. Before long, they were brawling, 10 or so people throwing punches in a chaotic melee. The commotion drew a crowd of curious onlookers. "What's going on? Why are they suddenly fighting?" someone asked. The growing crowd was a testament to humanity's love for drama. Chen Shu hadn't expected these actors to be so dedicated. Their professional commitment to deception was almost admirable. "Hey, break it up. Stop fighting. I have enough mid-grade strength potions for everyone, only 8,000 yuan each," Chen Shu called out, pretending to mediate while subtly advertising the price. "This is the content for paragraph 2941. I've processed it according to your request, maintaining the original paragraph structure, line breaks, and overall layout. Here's the result." The crowd gathered closer, pulling apart the fight. Wang Tianba's face was covered in blood, a grisly sight. He struggled to crawl toward Chen Shu, spitting out bloody saliva. "Damn, you're going all out, huh?" Chen Shu instinctively stepped back, staring at Wang Tianba in shock, catching a faint whiff of tomato sauce. "Get me an 8,000 yuan mid-grade official strength potion." After saying this, Wang Tianba's head tilted to the side, and he passed out. "What a talent!" Chen Shu's lips twitched, an admiring look in his eyes. "You okay? You okay?" Others quickly helped Wang Tianba up. Suddenly, Wang Tianba began convulsing, muttering incoherently. "Quick, get me the mid-grade strength potion." Chen Shu was speechless, thinking the act had gone too far. With a single look, he signaled a few accomplices to drag Wang Tianba away. "Xiao Chen, you can't sell mid-grade strength potions for 8,000 yuan. That's market disruption," Wang Beige advised. "Selling mid-grade strength potions for 8,000? The crowd finally reacted, turning their attention to Chen Shu's stand and the yellow potions on display. The market price for mid-grade strength potions was around 10,000 yuan, or 12,000 on the black market. "Is it fake?" A college student approached, his eyes full of doubt. Chen Shu glanced at him and made a guess. "You're from Nanjiang University?" "Yeah, are you?" Luo Yu asked. Chen Shu, looking about the same age as a college student, was naturally assumed to be a fellow student. Shaking his head, he replied, "Do you have your student ID? If you want to buy, show it first." Chen Shu had a bit more trust in students. If the ID was fake, he could always track him down at the university. Luo Yu thought for a moment, then pulled out his student ID. "Nanjiang University, class of 982, Combat Department, 2nd class, Luo Yong." Chen Shu nodded and handed the ID back to him. He then opened a bottle of potion and handed it to Luo Yong. Luo Yong summoned his contract spirit. As long as it didn't harm anyone or disrupt the city, short-term summoning was legal. A half-meter-long blue-winged insect emerged, its transparent wings shimmering beautifully. A D-grade blue-winged bug? Luo Yong took the strength potion and fed some to his contract spirit. Moments later, he nodded excitedly. "It's genuine mid-grade strength potion." The crowd immediately grew excited, their doubts dispelled. A testimonial from a university Beastmaster student carried a lot of weight. "Only 8,000. Recognized on campus. Limited time only," Chen Shu shouted. At that price, as long as the product was genuine, it was a steal. The potions quickly sold out, including the lower-grade strength potions. Chen Shu made over 300,000 yuan, lucky he had set up a bank card beforehand. Luo Yong had been incredibly helpful, so Chen Shu sold him 3 bottles for 7,000 yuan each as a thank you. "This guy's really raking it in." Old Wang was stunned. Even the black market didn't make this much in a year. "Wang Beige, here's your commission." Chen Shu handed him 500 yuan and started packing up. Old Wang was speechless, finding the money in his hand oddly unsatisfying. Chen Shu also tracked down the accomplices who'd helped earlier. Selling out so quickly was thanks to their efforts. Generously, he gave each of them 300 yuan for their performance, while Wang Tianba received 700 yuan. "I wasn't even hurt using tomato sauce." "Don't worry about it," Wang Tianba declined, feeling embarrassed to take so much. Chen Shu insisted, adding his personal endorsement. In today's world, talent was the most valuable asset. Someone who carried tomato sauce with them displayed commendable dedication to their craft. Chen Shu hurried out of the black market. It was 9 p.m. He grabbed some barbecue on the way home, happily heading back. The next morning, Chen Shu went to Zhou Xiaoming's shop and bought 5 giant growth fruits. These were the primary ingredient for body-enhancing potions. He also purchased the other necessary materials. Body-enhancing potions were categorized into basic, iron, and silver grades, corresponding to 3 tiers of contract spirits. Giant growth fruits were significantly more expensive than strength flowers, priced at 30,000 yuan each. Chen Shu spent 180,000 yuan to buy out the stock of 5. He quickly refined them into 20 bottles of body-enhancing potions. Without mastering proficiency, there was no extra yield. However, the fruit's rarity meant even stores rarely carried it. Each bottle was worth about 30,000 yuan. He didn't plan to sell them, prioritizing the development of his golden slime. With system rewards and potions, even an F-grade contract spirit could become the strongest. Chen Shu imagined his golden slime squashing a dragon to death with a single move. The 20 potions increased the slime's body size by 15%, with a maximum limit of 30%, requiring 20 more bottles. To reach the 30% size limit, nearly 1 million yuan would be spent, a cost only a few could afford. Chen Shu patted the slime. Gu ji. Gu ji. The slime widened its eyes, affectionately nuzzling his hand. It was already a meter tall. Once fully grown, it would exceed 4 meters, a giant in the eyes of low-level beastmasters. Hopefully, I'll do well on the finals. Chen Shu stored the slime and, nearing noon, prepared to head out for lunch before going to school in the afternoon. Boss, 1 plate of stir-fried pork with green peppers and a bottle of cola. While eating, he suddenly noticed a figure outside the shop. Hey, isn't that Wang Tong? Someone called out. A tall, scholarly-looking young man froze, glancing toward the shop. Suddenly, he recognized Chen Shu and walked straight in. I remember you. You're Xiaoyu's classmate, right? Wang Tong said. I heard about how Xiaoyu was targeted by a wanted criminal. He sighed. Thank goodness you all saved her. It was the least we could do, Chen Shu said with a wave, then asked, you feel so guilty, don't tell me this was your doing behind the scenes? Cough, cough. Wang Tang was momentarily speechless. That accusation had come out of nowhere, leaving him utterly confused. Of course not, Wang Tang said. But I do have something I'd like to ask of you. Despite feeling annoyed, Wang Tang hit it well. What is it? Let's be clear, I'm not lending you money, Chen Shu said bluntly. Wang Tang took a deep breath, struggling to accept this attitude. The Wang family had such high status, why would he ever need to borrow money from you? I want you to convince Xiaoyu to join my team for next year's Beastmaster tournament. We're sure to place well. Chen Shu was about to respond when a system prompt appeared. Option 1, agree to Wang Tang's request. Reward, 100,000 yuan. Option 2, refuse and say, do you think you're worthy? Reward, strength flower. Option 3, respond seriously, anyone can win, we'll win even if we team up ourselves. Reward, golden slime stats plus 5%. Chen Shu initially considered the cash reward, but it wasn't worth it. The second reward was even less appealing. He shook his head and said, I can't convince Xiaoyu, but how about we team up instead? What are you even talking about? Wang Tang looked thoroughly annoyed. What do you think about my proposal? As long as you meet the standards, I don't mind. Chen Shu said cautiously. Meet the standards? Wang Tang rubbed his head, feeling a headache coming on. Ha, you're quite humorous. Wang Tang forced a smile. Anyway, I hope you can help me out. After saying this, he wobbled away, afraid he'd lose his mind if he stayed any longer. Chen Shu chuckled. With a simple choice, the slime's strength increased again. Boss, check please. Chen Shu called out after finishing his meal. That'll be 30 yuan, the boss replied. Wasn't it 12 yuan? Chen Shu asked, puzzled. The meal is 12 yuan, but the soda is 18 yuan. That expensive? Chen Shu felt like he was being ripped off. The boss said matter-of-factly, it's just the same 3 yuan soda you get outside, just more expensive here. Chen Shu glanced at the menu. The prices were clearly listed, but the font for the soda price was tiny, easy to miss. Shaking his head, he paid the bill, mentally blacklisting the shop before leaving. After a good meal, Chen Shu returned to school. Chen Shu, exams are coming up. Stop wandering around, Xiaobing advised. If I don't wander, how can I get stronger, he thought to himself but nodded in agreement to stay put. A few days later, the final exams began. Class, today's exam is very important. It's all up to you to perform well. Fong Ke said sternly. When the bell rang, the cultural subjects exam officially started. In the classroom, aside from Fong Ku, there were 3 other proctors. 4 teachers were supervising 25 students, making cheating nearly impossible. The cultural section consisted of history, science, geography, and biology, each worth 100 points. The exam followed the standards of the National College Entrance Exam. The questions covered a broad range, testing the students' mastery of sophomore-level knowledge. Chen Shu, brimming with confidence, quickly completed his paper. A real genius, he thought to himself, certain he'd ace the cultural exam. Bored, a new set of options suddenly popped up in front of him. Option 1, submit your test early to show your confidence. Reward, moderate beast mastery power. Option 2, lay your head down and nap until time's up. Reward, chaos potion. Option 3, disrupt the focus of other test takers. Reward, +1 collision skill. After some thought, Chen Shu chose the third option. Skills and talent were the most crucial. He suddenly started flipping through his test paper. Swish! The sound of pages flipping broke the focus of the students who were immersed in their exams, making them tense. This exam was harder than expected, as it was designed to select students for the senior year special training class. The sound of flipping pages grew louder and faster. It seemed like many students had already moved on to the second page of the test. In reality, only a handful of top students in the class had made it that far. A sly grin appeared on Chen Shu's face. Resting his head on one hand, he casually flipped through his paper with the other, all while observing others' reactions. Reward unlocked, +1 collision skill. Ha! That quick? Chen Shu blinked, surprised at how easily he'd earned the reward. Looks like this batch of test takers wasn't very mentally tough. Chen Shu! Fong Ku's stern voice interrupted him as he approached. If you don't know the answers, just lay your head down and rest. Stop flipping your paper around and distracting others. It was clear he was interfering with others. Sorry, my hand cramped, but it's fine now, Chen Shu mumbled, lowering his head as if to sleep. The reward was already in the bag, and he was satisfied. Each subject's exam took half a day, and 2 days later, the cultural exam results were released. Students gathered to discuss. The test was so hard. It was definitely meant to filter out the top students. I just hope I can get at least 320 points on the cultural section. The senior training class is out of the question for me. I just hope I didn't do too badly. Chen Shu stood nearby, smiling quietly. Top students often liked to stay modest, only to surprise everyone when the results came out. Alright, stop discussing it. Fong Ku entered the classroom and said, the exams are over, no matter the results. Up next is the Beast Mastery exam. The cultural section had a total score of 400. Most students scored between 340 and 380, with little variation. The Beast Mastery section, however, had a total score of 350, and the gaps were significant. Some scored below 100, while others achieved 200 or 300 marks. This would be the real battlefield where the differences would show. For the final exam, I hope everyone maintains discipline. Don't emulate certain people. Fong Ku's gaze lingered on Chen Shu, a hint of apprehension in his eyes, worried the boy might stir up trouble again. After school that afternoon, Zhang Dali was already waiting outside the classroom. Finally, summer break. Shinpai, are you really going to work for 2 months? Zhang Dali asked. The regular class didn't have a Beast Mastery exam, so Zhang Dali was already fully relaxed. Chen Shu nodded. Definitely. I'm broke. What about you? Any plans for the summer? The two left school together. Of course. I'm going to play games and push my rank in Beast Master glory, Zhang Dali said excitedly. My mom's back, by the way. She wants to treat you to dinner tonight, he added. Chen Shu readily agreed. Who could say no to a free meal? Shinpai, I'll be counting on you in the future. Zhang Dali said earnestly, patting Chen Shu on the shoulder. Brothers forever. Chen Shu sighed. Could you stop saying the word dog? It sounds unpleasant. The two laughed as they walked back to their neighborhood. Chen Shu's parents had last-minute plans and weren't coming home, so the two headed straight to Zhang Dali's house. Mom, I'm home. Zhang Dali called out as they dropped their bags and flopped onto the couch. Chen Shu made himself at home, acting as if he were in his own house. Two boys are back? A middle-aged woman emerged from the kitchen, her face warm with a smile. It was Zhang Dali's mother, Shui Yuan. Hi, Auntie Shui. Chen Shu stood up and greeted politely. Zhang Dali, on the other hand, lazily muttered, Mom, where's Dad? I haven't seen him. Your dad's in the study shopping for stuff. You can go have a look if you want. Forget it. I won't understand it anyway, Zhang Dali said, stretching out on the couch. Chen Shu, however, was intrigued. Zhang Dali's parents were both Black Iron level Beast Masters, so whatever they were buying had to be related to Beast Mastery. Without hesitation, he headed to the study. Ah, Xiao Chen, you're here? Zhang Feng, a burly figure, greeted him from behind the computer and motioned for him to sit nearby. Chen Shu leaned in, immediately captivated by the information flashing across the screen. Tianyuan ginseng, 300,000 yuan. Cloud Peak stone essence, per ounce, 500,000 yuan. Level 2 gigantification fruit, 100,000 yuan. Ice Wolf King Beast Core, 1 million yuan. Chen Shu swallowed hard. How could these things be so expensive? He had some knowledge of beast mastery materials in high school, but he never imagined they'd cost this much. He used to think he was doing well financially by concocting a few strengthening potions. Now, he realized how far he still had to go to become a real pro. Zhang Feng chuckled. Xiao Chen, these are specialized materials for black iron level beast masters. Naturally, they're pricey. Below black iron level, one was considered a trainee beast master and couldn't access such goods. Uncle Zhang, what website is this? Chen Shu asked curiously. These items are essential spatial materials for beast tamers, providing significant help to them. This is the official Beast Tamer Association website, built for communication and transactions, Zhang Feng explained. Once you become Black Iron Tier, someone will invite you to join. Chen Shu sighed. It was clear that trainee beast tamers had very limited knowledge about such things. City stores rarely carry spatial materials, and the ones they do offer are mostly for trainees. Precious materials are primarily sold on the association's website, and only beast tamers can afford them. Chen Shu watched as Zhang Feng spent 1 million huaxia coins on materials, all of which were for black iron tier beast tamers. Materials for silver and gold tier tamers were even more astronomically priced. Let's go, Xiaochen, time to eat. Zhang Feng closed his laptop. The materials he ordered would arrive in 2 days. The aroma of food filled the air, and the family gathered around the table, enjoying the meal together. You have a beast taming exam tomorrow, right? Aunt Shui asked. If there's an opportunity to join a special training class, don't miss it. You know about the special training class too? Chen Shu was surprised. Of course, I was part of the first special training class at Nanjiang High School. Zhang Feng grinned. The special training classes are rich in resources and can significantly boost a beast tamer's abilities, Aunt Shui explained. Special training classes for senior high schoolers were common nationwide. The high school entrance exam phase was crucial, and families spared no effort, sometimes even going into debt, to support their children. We'll see how it goes. I'll do my best, Chen Shu said nonchalantly. He wasn't too concerned about the special training class since he had his system to rely on. Mom, Dad, why don't you care about my grades at all? Zhang Dali complained. I just finished my finals, and you didn't even react. Your grades are stable, there's nothing to ask about, Zhang Feng replied with a chuckle. You want us to cheer for you not coming in second to last? No, I just want you to show a little concern. Zhang Feng shook his head. You've never let me down. Suddenly, Zhang Dali looked serious. Mom, Dad, I'm almost 18 and want to live on my own to learn independence. You're serious? Zhang Feng was taken aback. Of course. I'm your son, after all. Zhang Dali patted his chest proudly. I've already packed my things and can move out anytime. The dining table fell silent. Chen Shu suppressed a laugh. This kid really knew how to stir things up. You brat, itching for a beating? Zhang Feng suddenly waved his hand. A shadow moved swiftly, and with a loud thud, it struck Zhang Dali. Rubbing his head, Zhang Dali protested, Dad, why are you using your contracted beast to hit your own son? It was only then that Chen Shu noticed the shadow was a massive black ape, standing 3 meters tall. Learn your lesson, Zhang Feng said as he recalled the beast. Aunt Shui simply smiled, saying nothing. Chen Shu's eyes flickered, he recognized the ape. It was mentioned in high school biology classes, which covered fierce beasts and common contracted creatures. As a black iron tier beast tamer, Zhang Feng's contracted beast had undergone bloodline evolution. This ape had evolved from a force ape into a violence ape, with its potential rising from C grade to B grade. Although potential could be improved, a contracted beast's initial rating would affect its growth throughout its life. Chen Shu's slime was rated F grade, and after reaching black iron tier, it could only improve to E grade. But other contracted beasts would also evolve, so the gap would persist. Unless he awakened a rare evolution path that significantly boosted its potential, a possibility with extremely low odds. This was why talent mattered far more than effort for beast tamers. Of course, having a cheat system changed everything. The family finished their dinner in a warm and cheerful atmosphere. Chen Shu returned home, looking forward to tomorrow's exam. The next day arrived. Nanjiang High School was quiet, with only first and second year beast taming students present, as the others were on break. Fong Ku entered the classroom, his tone calm. Today's exam is very important. I hope you'll all give it your best. With that, he led the beast taming class 5 students to the school's beast taming hall. Outside the hall, a long line had already formed. Over 200 students were waiting in an orderly queue to take the exam. Soon, the second-year students of Class 5 entered the hall in single file. The beast taming hall was massive, with a competition arena and 3 large exam rooms, one for each grade. The second-year class of 121 beast tamers entered the exam room. The beast taming exam consists of 5 assessments. The grade coordinator stood before the students, announcing the exam rules. The first assessment is the potential rating of your contracted beast. If there's an error, students may step forward to correct it. The school had recorded each student's potential rating upon admission, and errors were rare. If a correction was needed, students had to share their contracted beast stats panel, as the ratings couldn't be falsified. Su Xiaoyu, potential rating, A. Tang Lai, potential rating, A. Lin Xingqian, potential rating, B. The grade only had 2 students with A-grade potential contracted beasts, but Chen Shu's F-grade beast was even rarer. He was the only one. There were many F-grade beasts in the general classes, but those students understood their limitations and chose a more traditional path, avoiding burdening their families. No objections? The grade coordinator put away the list. Second assessment, Beast Tamer level. Class advisors led students to line up and record their Beast Tamer levels one by one. The process was straightforward. Students shared their contracted beasts panel, which displayed their level. Su Xiaoyu, level 7 Beast Tamer. Tang Lai, level 6 Beast Tamer. Lin Xingqian, level 6 Beast Tamer. The results were announced one after another. As expected, Beast Taming Class 1 was the strongest, with level 5 being the lowest. When it was Class 5's turn, the study committee member, Xiaobing, was first in line. Xiaobing, level 6 Beast Tamer. Even the teacher recording the results was stunned as they read the level aloud. What? The students turned to look, their faces filled with surprise. So it's Xiaobing, the former top student of Class 1. Students from Class 1 weren't surprised. Xiaobing's performance was within expectations. Only a few students could surpass her. If it weren't for financial difficulties, she wouldn't have transferred to Class 5. Class 5 consumed fewer resources, and the tuition was more affordable. She's definitely getting into the senior year special training class, Su Xiaoyu remarked, eyeing her old rival. Wang Meng, level 4 Beast Tamer. Next was the class monitor, Wang Meng. He hung his head, disheartened. Despite his efforts, he hadn't broken through before the semester's end, making it almost impossible to join the special training class. Li Zixuan, level 4 Beast Tamer. Zhang Yu, level 3 Beast Tamer. Most of Class 5 students were level 3 Beast Tamers, with level 4 being rare. The assessment wrapped up quickly. Class advisor Fong Ku remained calm. The results were as expected. At least Xiaobing's level 6 performance was a pleasant surprise. Mr. Fong, is there still one more student in your class? The teacher recording the results asked. One more? Fong Ku scanned his class and suddenly froze. His heart skipped a beat as he exclaimed, wait, where's Chen Shu? What's going on? How did someone go missing during the exam? Fong Ku looked around anxiously. He was sure he had brought the entire class with him into the beast taming hall. Just then, the exam hall doors swung open, and 2 people walked in. Director Wu. Fong Ku immediately recognized one of them. It was Wu, the first-year director. This is your student, right? Director Wu asked. Beside him stood Chen Shu from Beast Taming Class 5. Director Wu looked exasperated. You second years, why do you keep coming to our area to show off? Just now, he was so arrogant, saying it wasn't aimed at anyone in particular, but that everyone here was trash. Director Wu's frustration was evident as he tried to clarify the situation. Can we have some quiet? Fong Ku rubbed his temples in frustration. Of course, something would go wrong at a time like this. He hurried forward to retrieve Chen Shu. Director Wu, I'm sorry. He's one of ours. Second-year Director Lu glared at Chen Shu and apologized. Old Wu, the student was just messing around. Humph. Remember this, so young and already so arrogant. How are you going to conquer the dragon's nest in the future? Still, his beast-taming talent does seem decent. Must be one of your elite students. Director Wu decided to drop the matter and headed back to the first-year exam hall. Decent talent? Fong Ku muttered, shaking his head. Must have gotten so mad he started hallucinating. Turning to Chen Shu, he snapped, Chen Shu, what were you thinking, pulling a stunt like that at such a critical moment? Chen Shu hadn't realized he'd wandered into the first-year area while following the group. No wonder he hadn't recognized a single face. All right, the last student, please come forward for assessment, Director Lu said, visibly displeased. Chen Shu stepped up and presented his contract spirits information to the proctor. Name? Temperament? Potential rating, F. Contracted host, Chen Shu, level 5 Beast Tamer, ordinary talent. Apart from its potential and his own identity, Chen Shu didn't reveal his contract spirit's specific abilities or skills. Chen Shu, a level 5 beast tamer? The proctor looked astonished. This was the first level 5 beast tamer in beast taming class 5. Not bad talent. Seems like one of the top students in your class, Director Lu remarked, his tone softening. But the rest of beast taming class 5 were utterly dumbfounded, practically drooling in shock. You? Level 5? Fong Ke's brain went blank. The weakest kid in the class was actually level 5? The other students were just as incredulous. Chen Shu, who was usually carefree and unremarkable, turned out to be a hidden expert. A screen appeared in front of Chen Shu with 3 options. 1. Stay low-key. Reward, increased mastery of strength potion. 2. Sigh and say, I didn't mean to surpass you all. Reward, +1 to charge skill. 3. Play dumb and say, I was only level 1 before, how am I suddenly level 5? Reward, 1 level 1 giant growth fruit. Chen Shu selected the second option. The first reward offered minimal improvement. The third, a fruit, seemed unnecessary. He stepped forward, glanced at the ceiling, and spoke with melancholy. I tried so hard to hold myself back, but I still ended up surpassing you all. I hate myself for this, I just can't hide my talent. He clenched his fists, his face full of regret. The entire class, and perhaps the entire school, was stunned. Was this something a person would actually say? Since when did beast taming class 5 produce someone so extraordinary? Clutching his chest in mock guilt, Chen Shu declared, I, Chen Shu, feel deeply ashamed and apologize to everyone. Enough. Speak like a normal person. Director Lu interjected, unable to take it anymore. This suppressing talent nonsense was absurd. If he weren't holding back, he'd probably be heading straight to the top academy in the country. And as for feeling guilty, that was downright nonsensical. All eyes in the school turned to him, filled with bewilderment. Next test, now. Director Lu quickly moved things along, worried Chen Shu would say something even more outrageous. Even though his contract spirit's potential rating was only F, the fact that he was a level 5 beast tamer still carried weight. There were fewer than 40 level 5 beast tamers in the entire grade. First, the attack test. Director Lu announced. The teachers rolled out a massive yellow sphere, equipped with wires that connected to an enormous display screen. According to the rules, each contract spirit had 5 seconds to attack. The sphere had an internal algorithm to calculate and score the overall attack strength, which determined the student's performance. Begin! First up was Su Xiaoyu, the top student in the grade, who drew everyone's attention. A fiery red bird appeared, flapping its wings with an air of dominance. Su Xiaoyu commanded it to attack. The bird's talons glowed red as it unleashed its blazing talon skill. Boom! The talons struck the yellow sphere with tremendous force. If a normal person had been hit, they'd be gravely injured or worse. But the sphere was incredibly durable, designed to withstand all sorts of attacks. The display screen flickered before showing the score. Attack strength, A. As a level 7 contract spirit, this was an exceptionally rare achievement. Impressive. Director Lu nodded in approval. Without question, she was a prodigy. One by one, the other students summoned their contract spirits. Roar! Caw! Wahoo! Yippee! The exam hall buzzed with the sounds of battle. Attack strength, B. Attack strength, F. Contract spirits took turns attacking the sphere, but very few even reached B level, let alone A. Chen Shu, your turn, Fong Ke said, his eyes gleaming with anticipation. He'd thought Chen Shu was just an average student, but now it was clear he'd been hiding his true abilities. Chen Shu stepped forward and summoned his golden slime. Among all the contract spirits present, the golden slime stood out as an oddity, its potential was only F. What a waste of a level 5 beast tamer. Yeah, even a D-level contract spirit would have had better attack power. The golden slime had limited potential, mediocre stats across the board, and only excelled in durability, which wasn't useful for this exam. Not to mention, its attack speed was notoriously slow, barely enough to land a single hit within the 5-second time limit. Gloop, gloop. The slime bounced around curiously, eyeing the other contract spirits. Go on, show them what you've got, yellow flash of second high, someone joked. The slime puffed itself up, trying to look fierce but only managing to appear adorable. From a distance, it resembled a small, golden sphere. Gloop. The slime wiggled its rear and charged forward. Activating its level 3 charge skill, its speed suddenly soared. For a moment, it really did look like a yellow flash. Is it going to ram into the sphere? The crowd watched, intrigued. When it was about 10 meters away from the yellow sphere, the slime leapt into the air, its body instantly swelling to 4 times its size. Another active skill? The audience gasped in shock. The slime had already displayed a sudden speed boost, and now it was enlarging itself, a clear sign of a second combat skill. 2 battle skills in quick succession. This was already more than most students could manage. In reality, the size increase was a result of the violent but slam skill. The now enormous golden slime resembled a massive blob, its oversized rear end hurtling down toward the yellow sphere. Bang! 2 yellow spheres collided, creating a rather comical scene. Gucci! Gucci! The slime's large eyes strained wide open, its expression resembling constipation as it pressed down fiercely on the yellow sphere. It was an order, crush its kind. The yellow sphere dented deeply under the pressure but didn't burst. Not even a level 9 Beastmaster could break it, let alone a level 5. Gucci! The yellow sphere rebounded, launching the slime into the air and slamming it into the ceiling. Quick, recall it! Director Lu shouted urgently. Not out of fear for the slime, but for the ceiling. He was worried it might break from the impact. The thing was massive, and its weight was astonishing. Chen Shu focused his thoughts, swiftly recalling the slime. As long as it was within a certain range, contracted beast energy allowed for immediate recall, though summoning still required time. Attack strength, B. The score lit up on the display screen. The other students gasped in surprise. Chen Shu wasn't surprised at all. If his golden slime couldn't even manage AB, it wouldn't stand a chance against Jiang Nan's Blue Feather Hawk. An A grade? That was out of the question. In their grade, only Su Xiaoyu had ever achieved an A. She was a level 7 Beastmaster, far stronger than the slime. B grade. Another powerhouse from the senior special training class? Fang Ke clenched his fist slightly, visibly excited. Li Yuan had really picked out a genius. This was just after a month, and the kid had already grown to this level. No, Chen Shu was likely playing the long game, hiding his strength. The reasoning was unclear, but he was undoubtedly Chen Shu. Does he even need a reason to act? If Fang Ke tried to comprehend it, he'd probably need a hospital visit. The students of Beastmaster Class 5 had mixed expressions, glaring at the so-called underachiever in their class. Good heavens, this was just too much. Ahem, Chen Shu cleared his throat and said seriously, no one in this world is born a genius. Only through hard work can you become strong. Everyone froze. Is he trying to inspire us? Look at me, Chen Shu continued. After a whole month of hard work, I've only managed to go from level 1 to level 5. He sighed deeply. I sincerely hope none of you ever experience the struggles I've gone through. The room went silent. A month to go from level 1 to level 5? Was that something a human could even say? Most Beastmaster students in the room had been training for 2 years and were still stuck at level 3. I kind of want to hit him. Same. This guy's asking for it. Even Su Xiaoyu's mouth twitched slightly, almost summoning her flame bird on impulse. Director Lu quickly stepped in to mediate. Alright. Let's move on. We need to finish the Beastmaster assessments today. If a full-blown brawl broke out, it would be chaos. At the same time, he gave Chen Shu a meaningful look. An F-grade slime that had somehow learned 2 combat skills? Had this kid saved the galaxy in a past life? The attack test ended swiftly, followed by the speed test. Speed wasn't just about movement, it also measured neural reflexes. Suddenly, the yellow spheres in the test area transformed into slowly rotating Gatling guns, creating an intense, oppressive atmosphere. This tech is insane, Chen Shu muttered in surprise. He had initially thought the technology here was comparable to his expectations, but the gap was clearly significant. Begin the speed test. Director Lu announced. The bullets weren't live rounds but rubber projectiles coated in dye. They wouldn't harm the contracted beasts they hit. This test primarily evaluated dodging and reaction time. The performance of Chen Shu's golden slime left everyone dumbfounded. It wasn't impressive, it was downright terrible. While other contracted beasts at least tried to dodge, the slime simply snoozed through the test. Rubber bullets pelted it like rain, and it didn't avoid a single one. It was a reverse perfect score. Speed rating, F. As expected, Chen Shu scored the lowest possible grade. Many people breathed a sigh of relief. The slime's extreme lack of balance was finally showing. By now, Chen Shu had racked up 2 F grades. His chances of making it into the special training class were slim to none. The speed test ended, and the next round was the defense test. Despite his 2 F grades, Chen Shu remained calm. Defense was the most crucial category, and his scores in academics could still make up the difference. Begin the defense assessment. Director Lu announced. The Gatling gun's muzzle glowed blue, its bullets now upgraded to specialized rounds. Su Xiaoyu and her flamebird were up first. Director Lu reminded her, if your contracted beast can't handle it, recall it immediately to terminate the test. Su Xiaoyu nodded, and the crowd retreated 100 meters. Rat-tat-tat. The Gatling gun fired, the blue glow flashing as its power surged. The flamebird closed its eyes, bracing itself with calm determination. As the gunfire intensified, Its expression shifted from calm to tense, until a bullet struck its chest, forcing it to let out a sharp cry as it took flight. The test is over. Defense rating, B grade. The examiner recorded the result. Other contracted beasts followed, with most scoring low in defense. Only 2 others achieved a B grade, while the majority landed in the E range. One by one, the students completed their tests, and then it was Chen Shu's turn. The golden slime, still round as ever, was sound asleep, drooling slightly. Fong urged, "Chen Shu, wake it up." The defense test was critical. Another F grade, and Chen Shu was done for. Chen Shu shook his head. No need. Let it stay like this. The slime had an innate thick armor trait, which tripled its defense in sleep mode. Its drowsy talent also added bonus points. In other words, a sleeping slime was at its toughest. Begin, Director Lu nodded. Everyone's eyes were glued to Chen Shu and his slime. He was the dark horse of this round, with attack strength and beastmaster level far ahead of the rest, yet relatively unknown. Rat-tat-tat. The Gatling gun roared to life, blue flashes illuminating the room, but the slime remained completely unmoved. The bizarre juxtaposition of deafening gunfire and soft snoring left everyone stunned. This is unbelievable. No one could believe their eyes. The gunfire intensified, with its power gradually increasing from F to B grade. Yet, the slime remained unperturbed, still deep in slumber. Gu Qi. The slime yawned, even swallowing a bullet that had flown into its mouth. The crowd stared wide-eyed in disbelief. Is this really the weakest slime? Though slimes were a unique type of contracted beast, they weren't uncommon. In fact, they made up at least 30% of F-grade contracted beasts, available in various colors, with gold being just one variant. Yet this seemingly unimpressive beast was performing exceptionally well? No one could wrap their heads around it. The B-grade assault continued for nearly a minute, but the slime's defense held firm. Could there truly be a contracted beast with A-grade defense? Director Lu squinted slightly, his mind racing. Just as the Gatling gun was about to escalate its attack, the golden slime abruptly vanished. What just happened? Everyone turned to Chen Shu, utterly baffled. Once again, a choice appeared before Chen Shu. Here's the processed version of your content translated into English while adhering to the structure, paragraph breaks, and overall layout of the original text. Option 1. Be honest and admit the slime is struggling to hold on. Reward, plus 5% defense. Option 2. Play mysterious. Reward, unlock the defense potion guide. Option 3. Walk away nonchalantly, leaving a cool silhouette. Reward, swift potion. Without a doubt, the potion guide was the most valuable. Chen Shu's eyes grew determined as he declared, "This is all a B-grade attacks got? Even A-grade attacks aren't much better. Teacher, you've got the scores, right? I, king of jokes, don't even feel like testing A-grade." The crowd was speechless, this was too bold. Still, no one could be sure whether the slime could withstand an A-grade attack. Defense level, B. The proctor finally recorded the result. Though it matched Su Xiaoyu's level, the overall assessment favored Chen Shu's defensive capabilities. The Beast Taming Department's exams are over. Final grades will be sent to your phones, Director Lu announced. Have a great summer break. He gave Chen Shu a deep, lingering glance. This student left quite an impression. His contracted spirit was peculiar, but its master was even more so, hard to forget. As the exam crowd dispersed, everyone's spirits lifted. Though their results might not be stellar, summer vacation was just around the corner. Discussions about Chen Shu and his slime filled the air. Some even approached him to ask for advice. Chen Ji. A girl with a ponytail ran over. No need to stand on ceremony. Just call me uncle, Chen Shu joked, waving her off with a grin. The girl looked puzzled and asked, "How do you train your contracted spirit to be so strong?" Chen Shu replied seriously, "Read more books, read the newspaper, eat less junk food, and get plenty of sleep." "Chen Shu, come with me." Fong Ke suddenly called out. Chen Shu was about to spin more nonsense when Fong Ke interrupted, saying, "You really should get your contracted spirit to read more. Awaken their intelligence. My slime can even use a smartphone now." The girl was dumbfounded. Contracted spirits, reading? Chen Shu and Fong Ke left the exam hall and strolled to the sports field. "Do you think you have a shot at making the special training class?" Fong Ke asked. "Effort accounts for 1 part, destiny for 9. We'll know once the results are out." Chen Shu clasped his hands behind his head, looking utterly at ease. He felt no pressure. After all, he'd become a level 5 beast tamer in just 1 month, what limits could his future possibly have? "You're so calm." Fong Ke twitched slightly at the corner of his mouth, then sighed. "Guess I underestimated you before. Your talent is incredible." "Talent's important, but not the most important thing," Chen Shu suddenly said, gazing at the sky with a faint smile. "Oh? So you're saying it's hard work?" Fong Ke was skeptical. How could it possibly be hard work? Of course, it's the cheat system. Chen Shu merely smiled without answering, strolling leisurely away from the field. The setting sun stretched his shadow long behind him. Fong Ke watched him go, a trace of confusion in his eyes, as though he were glimpsing the future of a great beast tamer. Chen Shu went home to celebrate the end of the term. His father had invited Zheng Dali's family and Fong Xi's parents over for a gathering. The three families had always been close, though Fong Xi was far away at the Huaxia Academy and hadn't returned to Nanxiang. In the blink of an eye, Xiao Chen and Dali are nearly seniors in high school, Fong Wei remarked with a smile. Zheng Feng shook his head. Yeah, but their talent can't compare to Fong Xi's. Having an S-grade contracted spirit was critical for a beast tamer. Maybe, but Xiao Chen and Dali are unique. Even if they don't become top-tier beast tamers, they'll excel in other fields, Fong Wei countered. Chen Shu's father, Chen Ping, chuckled. They'll find their own paths. Let's not meddle too much. Though Fong Xi had already made a name for herself, the bond between the three families remained strong. It's a pity Fong Xi can't come back for the summer. The three of them could have had a reunion. Fong Xijia isn't coming back for the summer? Chen Shu frowned, looking disappointed. Her beast-taming squad took on a mission in an alternate space. She's unlikely to return, Fong Wei explained, assuming Chen Shu was simply missing Fong Xi. Chen Shu sighed. If Fong Xi wasn't coming back, didn't that mean his rivalry list was made in vain? Dali, you don't have any reaction at all? Chen Shu nudged Zhang Dali's arm. Don't rush me. I'm in the middle of a ranked match, Zhang Dali muttered, glued to his phone. Chen Shu casually glanced at the screen and nearly jumped out of his skin. You're 0-10-0. Why aren't you grouping up? What are you doing wandering around? It was only a few minutes into the match, and Zhang Dali had already died 10 times. If he wasn't dying, he was looking for ways to die. I've got social anxiety. I can't handle team fights, Zhang Dali explained. Chen Shu. The three of them swapped stories of the past, and after a hearty meal, everyone went home. Uncle Zhou, do you have any iron core fruits in stock? Early the next morning, Chen Shu stopped by Zhou Xiaoming's family store to gather materials for crafting a newly learned defense potion. We've got 2 left. I'll grab them for you, Zhou Xiaoming's father said, emerging with 2 black fruits in hand. But we're out of giant growth fruits for now. The Zhou family store primarily sold materials sourced from Blue Planet, though they occasionally stocked items from alternate spaces. Most beast taming groups had their own supply chains, collaborating with major families or corporations. Some sold to the government, which paid less but offered subsidies. Thanks, Uncle Zhou. Chen Shu nodded, storing the iron core fruits. If you get any giant growth fruits, iron core fruits, or power flowers in stock, save them for me. I'll pay top dollar. With the iron core fruits in hand, Chen Shu headed straight to 666 Potion Company. Master Chen, you're here, his assistant, Xiao Mao, greeted him, though inwardly he sighed. A graduate of a prestigious beast-taming university, reduced to being an assistant for a high schooler. Truly, life was unfair. Xiao Mao was even planning to write a book titled The Days I Pretended to Matter. Chen Shu nodded. With summer break underway, he had his schedule planned. Mornings for potion crafting, afternoons for selling at the black market, and evenings for wandering aimlessly to trigger system options. 10 days flew by. By selling potions, he had earned nearly 1 million Huaxia coins, leaving many in awe. But the more he earned, the more he spent. When he couldn't gather raw materials, he had to purchase pre-made potions. Still, he could craft his own defense and growth potions as long as he had the ingredients. With his earnings, he purchased a basic cell potion to enhance the vitality and recovery speed of his golden slime. His contracted spirit grew significantly stronger, but his funds were completely depleted. He thought his summer would continue to revolve around potion trading. But the next morning, Su Xiaoyu's uncle, Zhou Chang, arrived with 3 power flowers and bad news. Xiao Chen, these are the last 3 power flowers from the company, Zhou Chang sighed. Chen Shu asked, don't tell me the company's going under? Zhou Chang forced a smile. You've got guts to say that. As an employee, he couldn't badmouth the company like that. He explained, the contract expired. Renewing it will take some time. No renewal yet? Chen Shu frowned. For a company this size, this kind of problem shouldn't happen. Without a steady supply of power flowers, the company would definitely take a hit. Zhou Chang added, a new competitor signed an exclusive contract with the supplier. We're out of luck for now. Let me know if you'd like further adjustments. There was fire in his eyes, cutting off materials was like cutting off his lifeline. Chen Shu asked, does the company still have defensive potions or size-enhancing potions? He only cared about whether he could still profit from potions. No connections, no permits, it was hard to buy materials from alternate dimensions.